Okay. Okay. I am the European white man. You're probably going to be lynched at the age of 19 because you're black and you probably try to read. And for you, I'm going to wipe out your entire culture because I want something that doesn't belong to me. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Luna Timothy and I'm joined with Stefan Greenlee. We'll be discussing our speech topic, which is why we believe black and indigenous people should be paid reparations due to the enslavement of 220 plus years and the genocide of Native Americans. We've all dug very deep into our research to present this information to you today with credible resources that include online databases, personal anecdotes, and testimonials. To begin with, slavery plays a huge part on why black people should be paid reparations. Slavery was quote unquote ended with the 13th Amendment, but to this day we are not free. Discrimination is still present in today's society, and it's especially prevalent in the workplace. We are programmed to code switch where we turn on a white people's voice if we were to get a job interview call. And even to these job interviews, we may dress a certain way instead of wearing an afro or a do-rag, just so we can present ourselves so we can succeed. Discrimination is also prevalent in public and private school systems in the way we look. For example, Faith was 11 years old. On her first day of school, she was told to go home because her hairstyle was inappropriate. In reality, all she had was cornrows to the back of her hair. Another way slavery has not ended is by segregation. Gentrification is termed to be the displacement of black and brown urban residents by more affluent whites. So in our communities, we're so used to going to the corner store to grab a piece of paper and know everyone by name, but then when these white people move into our communities, they basically demolish these and put up Starbucks here, places, and things we just don't need. By doing this, they just raise the price of living, which means we can no longer afford to live in our communities and are forced to move out. And another example is Black Wall Street. Here showcases a picture of Black Wall Street was basically the Wakanda before Wakanda. It was an area where a lot of black people thrived. It was tailored for black people in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where it was on a street called Greenwood. The Black Wall Street had over 600 businesses, 21 churches, 21 restaurants, etc. It was literally black built. Until one day, after allegations of a black man raping a white woman in an elevator, which soon became untrue, a white mob took it upon themselves to go into these communities and basically bomb, throw torches, and kill more than half of the entire population in that city. And after that, no one even bothered to help these people rebuild their towns. No one even took the toll and said that it was on their part that they did this. They actually blamed black people and said that they brought it on themselves. They are just ways that we have been basically disturbed, disrespected, and have never been paid reparations. And I will now pass it on to my colleague where he will be discussing why indigenous people should be paid reparations.
The indigenous people of America deserve reparations for many reasons. Since the existence of America, they have been treated wrongly and oppressed in ways very similar to the blacks of America. So let me start with the start. The true history of indigenous and Native Americans. The alleged discovery of America by Christopher Columbus was in the year 1492. The true history is that in America had been inhabited by us for as many as 18 million. The true history is that America had been inhabited by as many as 18 million indigenous people for many years before that, according to many scholars and Encyclopedia Britannica. So let me start with the life before, where they lived. According to Indians.org, natives inhabited many areas of modern America, including the Northeast, and this includes Canada to North Carolina, and instead in the inland of Mississippi River Valley. The Southeast, which included the land north of the Gulf of Mexico. The Plains, which included places like North Dakota, South Dakota, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, and much more. California, the Southwest, and more. So let me start with the tribes. There were many tribes, and the most popular was the Cherokee tribe. The Cherokee tribe name stands for people of different speech, and they stood for peace, wore red and white, and had around 22,000 members. Now let me tell you about the other tribes. The other tribes include the Sioux tribe, Navajo tribe, Apache tribe, Cheyenne tribe, and many others. These tribes all accounted for the 18 million natives that inhabited America before the true discovery. Now let me tell you the true story of America's discovery. In 1492, the Europeans had invaded the natives' land and gave them many diseases, including smallpox, influenza, chickenpox, and many other diseases that they weren't used to that killed many of them. Now let me continue on the true story of the discovery. Along with causing death of many of the natives due to diseases, the Europeans also stole their land, killed them, and made money off of their land in the gold rush, and still today. Now let me tell you the numbers. According to History Network, the number of natives went from 10 million to 22,000, and all of them were lost to either murder, malnutrition, or diseases that the European invasion caused. Now today, the natives were never truly repaid. To this day, the government is still taking their land and using it for financial gain, leaving them with nothing. Even Trump recently signed the bill going against them. The native communities are also the #1 most poverty-stricken areas in America, and they have an unemployment rate 5 times higher than the general U.S. population, according to the Indian Org. Now let me talk about mental health in the Indian native community. Mental health is also a huge problem due to conditions that they're in. Alcoholism, depression, all of that is more, and suicide is one of the biggest. Now let me conclude to say this. The indigenous people of America and African Americans have been through many things that they should be repaid for. From slavery, to the invasion of land, to oppression, mass incarceration, financial inequality, and more that hugely negatively affects both races. America was built on the backs of both races. And studies show that America has made billions and built off a huge part of their wealth off of both races, and therefore they should both be paid reparations.
Okay.